I just want to say thank you very much for joining us on day 3 of the Anchor Collection virtual sales week. So we kicked off the week with Germany, and yesterday we were in Rome, and today we're in beautiful Spain and Portugal, finding a few hidden gems that you might not be as familiar with in those destinations. So during the presentation, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Chris Lynn is with us from sunny London, part of Anchor Collection, so he'll be monitoring the chat, or we will open it up at the end if you have any questions as well. So I want to say thank you to Abene and John and Juan Carlos from Spain for putting this together this morning. And over to you guys, whoever's going to start.
Well, thank you guys for having us. So it's our pleasure to have some time for you guys. And we understand the meetings and incentives is a huge industry, obviously. But as you said, we wanted to show you some other places that are not so mainstream. Even if you're considering to come to a big city, either Spain or Portugal, we wanted to give you that road less traveled. So Abene just did some introduction very informally. I don't know if she wants to do it more properly for those who were not on the previous webinar with you guys. And then we'll start with, I think it's Carlos in Madrid, if I'm not mistaken, who will tell us some secret places or some hidden gems, as you said, near Madrid, but not in Madrid.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, I think we should introduce ourselves and the company, because sometimes we go straight to the places and we don't talk about the most important issue, which is the human touch and the human being, which is us, which is the team, which is the people, which is the love we put on our each job. And our relationship with United States is really, really, really important. Almost all of us have lived in United States. And in my case, which I am the owner of the company, let me tell you that I was living in Palo Alto 2 years. I came back to Spain last summer, and we really miss Silicon Valley because, you know, the amazing weather in Palo Alto, and, you know, that area is really, really beautiful. I learned a lot from you guys. I think you are, well, sorry to say that, but I think you are the best country in the world. So we have so much to learn from you, and I hope I took some of the good things from you to Spain. So now that I am here in Spain, it is time for me and my team to show you what we have here, because we also know that you love Europe and you love Spain and Portugal, and these destinations are top for you because in all sense, in accommodation, in restaurants, food, wines, facilities for meetings and incentives. We have everything top that you could need for your clients. So today we are gonna do something that Cheryl named something that we liked, and that's why this is the highlight: the road less traveled. So let's start with Carlos, yeah, and let me tell you that we are a 22 years experienced company, so we know exactly what we are talking about. And we didn't stop during the pandemic. We kept on working. We kept on knowing exactly what was what hotels were working, who was keeping the position. So we are ready for you whenever you want to come to Spain and Portugal. So thank you, Tracy, and you can start with the presentation.
Yeah, we're going to start again with Madrid, again with this concept that we discussed, that everybody knows Madrid, Barcelona, Lisbon, some of the main hubs for the big events and conference. But Carlos is going to start with Madrid and again show you something and some places you may not be expecting. So Carlos, all yours.
Thank you, Juan Carlos, and thank you, Abene. I am here ready to start with my presentation and with my beautiful city, So as Sabine said, we're going to focus on this presentation on the less road travel, even though, as you know, Madrid is the capital of Spain. So we are talking a very crowded city. We are nearly 7 millions. That gives us some advantages that I would like to point out for you. As you know, we are the capital of Spain, but we are as well located in the center of the country. That give us very good connections, either internationally. We have one of the main hubs in Europe, the Barajas Airport, that gives you the opportunity to find practically all the direct international flights coming from the US. And we are as well very well connected locally within Spain, either by plane, roads, or train. As many of you might have visited already Madrid, you know that we have this kilometer zero in Puerta del Sol. So all the national roads start from that point, from Madrid. And many cities, you can reach them within 1 and 2 hours from Madrid. And many of them are World Heritage Sites by the UNESCO. That's something that we're going to see with the first option I have prepared for you, that are the Paradores. Paradores is a Spanish luxury chain of hotels that was founded at the beginning of the 20th century by the King Alfonso XIII. And currently there are 94 properties, and they are normally located in historic converted buildings. So we are talking about convents, monasteries, castles, and as you can see on the map, many Paradores are located in World Heritage Sites by UNESCO. So that's a very good opportunity to discover these cities that we have in Spain, and many of them are up to 3 hours maximum driving distance from Madrid. So I have prepared just some examples for you, because you know we are talking about more than 90 properties, but these are, so to say, my favorite ones. So the first one is the Parador de Chinchón, which is located in Chinchón. That's a village in the south of Madrid, very famous for its Plaza Mayor, or main square. It's something very beautiful to visit. And this Parador is located in a former monastery. Actually, you can identify that by the courtyard with all these tree gardens. Another option is the Parador Alcalá de Henares. That's located in Alcalá de Henares, the birthplace of Cervantes, and just 12 miles away from Madrid Airport. This Parador is a combination of avant-garde and historic building, and they have a lot of meeting rooms. So it's a very good option if you're having clients that want to organize some events in Madrid, within Madrid, close to the airport, and not in downtown. The next example is Parador de la Granja, located in Segovia, just 1 hour away from Madrid. Segovia, again, is a World Heritage Site, as Alcalá de Henares that we have seen before. And this Parador has a very big convention center as well. Actually, they have 16 meeting rooms with a capacity up to 600 people. So a very good option for organizing events there. And the last example will be the Parador de Ávila. This is a Parador located within the historical city walls of the cities. So that's a very good option if you want to discover that city and visit the Gothic cathedral and just, you know, all the palaces and monuments that you can find on that city. The second option I have prepared for you has nothing to do with Paradores. That's a hotel. It's called Abadía Retuerta, Le Domaine Hotel. This is just 2 hours driving distance from Madrid. It is located in Valladolid, which is actually one of the most famous wine regions we have in Spain, Ribera del Duero. This hotel is an abbey of the 12th century that has been restored and converted into a hotel in 2012. So you can identify that by the structure, because they have preserved the original structure as much as possible. For example, the original monks' cells have been converted into rooms. The hotel has in total 30 rooms, and all of them with butler service. And you can, of course, buy out this hotel. What we are seeing on the picture now is one of the main restaurants that the hotel has. They have in total 5 restaurants. The one you're seeing, the picture you're seeing on your right upper side is the refectory, which is the main restaurant with 1 Michelin star. Actually, they got last year a Michelin Green Star. That's the award that the Michelin gives to the restaurants that are committed to sustainability. But you can see on the picture as well, there are other options that you can have, like more kind of informal lunches or dinners outdoors or on the vineyards or wine cellars. So many options to do there. The hotel has, for example, as it is an abbey, they have a church, and there you can privatize any kind of event like an award ceremony. On the next picture, we're going to see something very interesting from the hotel as well. This is the spa center that the hotel has. This is a huge spa center with some wine therapy treatments. So that means that a sommelier is there for you, giving you some wines to taste and some oils to sniff. So practically you get the best treatments based on your preferences. And the hotel offers as well a lot of outdoor activities. Many of them are related to wine, but you can do horse or cycle along the banks of the river. You can practice yoga outdoors, do a Land Rover excursion on the vineyards, and everything related to wine. You can wine taste or do some winemaking, or even participates into the harvest. So that's a very good option because we are talking about just 2 hours away from Madrid. And it's an option where you can enjoy not only the property itself, but the environment as well. So I hope you like it, and I hope that these 2 options can fit your clients' requirements and wishes for the upcoming events in Spain. Thank you. JC, you are on mute.
I know I'm muted. I'm coming.
No.
I just wanted to avoid the resounding sometimes of being unmuted on my side. So of course we like it. I was there actually last week. There was a wine expo, a trade show, and we stayed there. Spain Collection was there, and we tried the food as well and the wines. We're gonna be back again. So now, no leaving wine, at least not for the name, we're going to the northern part of Spain, actually where the main office is based, very close to Bilbao. And of course, and you know how tough the Basques are, so if we have to talk about wineries and regions up that area, we have to leave it to the Basques. So Abene, you're next, talking to beautiful La Rioja.
Thank you, my darling. I have to say, I'm not tough at all. And if you give me some wine, I will just go to sleep immediately. So maybe you have to choose another Basque, like my husband, because I'm not the example. There are more people at, our office in Bilbao, but this is a complicated week. We have some people, some of the team on vacations because the summer is gonna be intense. So that's why we are now 4, but 4 are enough. You can have a sample of the team. So yeah, Rioja is one of those areas in the peninsula that is usually chosen by clients who already know the rest of the peninsula, because people who have, clients who have never been to Spain usually go to Madrid or to Malaga or to Barcelona. But when they have been already to Madrid or Barcelona, they say, give me something else, something more, a different place. And then, hey, come to Rioja. And actually, our first group, after a lot of months, took place not last week, but 2 weeks ago in La Rioja. And we organized a beautiful lunch here in the middle of the vineyards, close to a village named La Guardia, the capital of the Rioja Alavesa, which is the Basque area of La Rioja. So if you want, JC, you can just go to the next slide so I can show this underground cheese cellar, because the main village, I mean the capital city, which is not a city, actually there are only three streets going down and 3 streets going just on the other side. It's really small, but still very, very charming. This village is made on the top and is made also down. So you can just walk on the village and see the shops and see the beautiful houses and the wineries. But some of the restaurants or the hotels in the end of this street, which is called Los Parajes. And if Tracy, you can go to the next slide so our guests can see better this hotel, which is number 1 in La Rioja for American clients. It's only 18 rooms. They are keeping the cellars as something amazing, and clients can have a drink in the evening after the dinner, or even later, like a long drink. Can you see the rooms? Don't you tell me they look amazing? This is again number 1 in TripAdvisor in La Rioja. Would I recommend it to you for a group? Yes, but for a small group like 18. Would I recommend La Rioja for a bigger group? If you split the group in different hotels, yes. If you want them to be in the same hotel, it's going to be complicated because the village, as you can see, is not big, it's small. But the place is very charming, it's beautiful. And as I told you before, we can organize amazing lunches, even if you sleep in Bilbao, which is 1 hour and a half, and you can go, here in this area, you can do like a lunch for 50 people among the vineyards, and you can have like a lamb chops or any type of sausages. Of course, we don't do fish here, but the wine is amazing. It's as good as Ribera del Duero, and people enjoy it so much because we don't use catering. We use a chef, a real chef, with the grill and the food, and we can have like a wine tasting. If usually with the leisure we can, if you have kids, which is not the case with meetings or an incentive, but they can also play in the area. It's so beautiful. But I tell you, every group coming here, they are so happy. And the girl you can see here, the woman, she's one of the guides working with stuff. So again, this is a beautiful area. Even if you don't sleep in the area, and if you sleep in Bilbao, it's 1 hour and a half driving to the area, having a nice, beautiful grill meal, and then you can go back to Bilbao. And I think, yes, can you see this beautiful and modern winery? This was built by Calatrava. Calatrava is one of the most international Spanish architects that we have in Spain. Here is the place where we organized 2 weeks ago the lunch with a 2 Michelin star chef for our clients. And the client was Pernod Ricard. As you know, in the United States, you also have an important delegation for Pernod Ricard. And it was amazing. People enjoyed so much. They had to go back to Madrid and they didn't want to leave. It was amazing. They were visiting the vineyards. We did like stops, like trying different type of sausages and olives and different type of wines. And in the end, they enjoy a lunch with a beautiful dessert, and then they went back to Madrid. So this is very, very, very special for your client. It's not something really cheap because you have to organize something outside, but it's really worth it. And finally, let me show you a winery where we usually stop before going to La Guardia. It's called Villa Tondonia. And to me, to my opinion, this is one of the best winery for the clients because it is very well organized. You have to think that some of the wineries in this area are focused on big groups, and you cannot hear very well what the guide says, but we organize in a very beautiful way for small groups, maximum 15 people, so the guide can explain very well in a very good English what they do, how the wine is, and we choose an excellent type of grape and wine. And this is the perfect winery to visit. It takes 1 hour, and then after staying here in just another half an hour, you arrive to those amazing vineyards. So this is Aro, is the capital of the wine. And these bicycles that you can see, this is one of the options that we recommend for the clients in the morning, never after the wine, but before, right? So you can do hiking, you can do bicycling, and different type of sports in the morning. It's beautiful, especially in September. Can you imagine? In the harvest is so special, but you have to book, of course, in advance, and we can do it for you. So Rioja, one of the amazing places in Spain that we can organize for you. Thank you so much, JC.
No, thank you, Avene. And again, if you are not up for the task of tasting the wine, I'm up, no worries. I'll volunteer. So now from north to south, we go with our John, who's one of our sporty men here. And he wanted to show you that Andalusia is not only about Malaga, which is the big city in the south by the beach, or Seville, which is probably the biggest city in Andalusia. So he wanted to show you Granada and Marbella as two maybe destinations you haven't thought about for being special places for your incentives or smaller groups, but they're very, very interesting places as well. So now, John, your turn.
Thank you very much, JC, and thank you very much to everyone for assisting to our webinar. Well, to continue with the road less traveled places, as JC was saying, we're going to be talking about a place that it's nearby Granada. Why are we choosing this place? Actually, it's called La Bobadilla Hideaway Resort. So it is very, very well located, as it is just once that you arrive to Madrid Airport, which is the hub for Spain as well and Europe, talking about airports. It is just a little bit less than 1 hour plane to Malaga, to the airport in Malaga, and then after less than 1 hour drive from the airport in Malaga. So the good thing, and the reason why we're choosing it, because it is in the middle of the nature and it has so much to offer. So we're talking about a big, big, big property surrounded just by the Sierra of the Andalusia, which is like a very big mountain range. Okay, climate is wonderful almost throughout the whole year. And as you can tell, the buildings are exquisite and majestic. There's many different areas. It consists on 67 rooms, different kinds of suites, as you can see in the pictures. The views from the rooms are outstanding, and as well very spacious and very, very nicely decorated. Besides the room, we have lots of spots for groups, for big groups actually. So there's like spaces both indoors and outdoors to do different kinds of meetings or conventions. So if we go to the next slides, we're going to be able as well to see different areas, like for example, the spa, which is one of the best rated ones in the whole area as well, because as we know, this place is very, very nearby some other top destinations like Granada, which is almost like 1 hour drive, Malaga, Ronda, or Marbella, that we're going to be talking about later on. Besides the spa, there's some other spaces that are a very, very big highlight, in La Bobadilla. For example, the restaurant areas. There's 3 different kinds of restaurant areas. Some of them are for the breakfast, some others are for lunch and dinner. The one for lunch and dinner, it's called La Finca. It is a Michelin-starred restaurant. The food is known as one of the best of the areas as well. And then after, there is a big area outdoors for doing different kinds of activities or conventions. So food as well, we know that it's something very important from an event. So there's the option to either have the chance to try the Michelin star restaurant, or we can organize as well, bringing Michelin starred chefs to the place. Connected to what we're going to be talking about as well, the food is going to be always the chance to be like let's say related with healthy style if wanted. This is one of the indoor spaces for doing meetings. It has a capacity for around 50 to 100 people, always depending on the restrictions. We all know now with the COVID, there's like we are now in indoor areas with a restriction of 60% of the total capacity. But in regular conditions, it can even have the chance to have 100 people. So if we go to the next slide, we're going to be proposing different activities that we can do in La Bobadilla. In this case, more related to mindfulness. As we're talking about the less traveled roads, we're going to be as well talking about some events and activities that maybe are not mainstream. So we have the chance to organize different kinds of meditation activities, yoga activities, and as well less known activities like cacao ceremonies or ecstatic dance, everything related to mindfulness. But that's not the only thing that we can organize in La Bobadilla. We can organize more regular outdoor activities as well, like for example, horseback riding. If we go to the next slide, as well, we can organize different kinds of bicycle tours that are actually inside of the property, which is very vast and long. And then after, for those that want to feel this kind of adrenaline of the competition, we can actually organize little and fun tennis tournaments as well. Once that we are done with La Bobadilla, as well as we're saying, the location is excellent to try some top destinations nearby. For example, let's talk about La Alhambra in Granada, which is a UNESCO Human Heritage Site. It is an absolutely outstanding building. It is one of the most famous ones in Spain as well. It is around an hour from La Bobadilla. It is not just about the visit of La Alhambra. We can as well organize, for example, hot air balloon rides around some geothermal national parks near Granada, which are an absolute highlight as well. And to end up with the southern part of Spain, something like around an hour drive as well, we have Marbella, which is one of the most iconic ports in Spain. So this is very oriented to very exclusive kind of tourism. And in here we can take advantage of the coast, the beautiful and very nice blue sea color. And we can organize here different kinds of activities, like for example, boat rides in high-end yachts. So thank you very much for your assistance. And now it's time for Portugal.
Thank you, John. So that was beautiful. And now that the summer is arriving, like yesterday, we're so looking forward to going to the beach again, if we could. So now my turn. I'm the one who's in Salamanca, which is a border region with Portugal. So we're going to jump all over to our neighbors, good neighbors of Portugal. But we're going to get a little bit off from Lisbon and Porto itself. Obviously, everybody knows Lisbon is the main hub for big conventions in Portugal, but we wanted to offer you some other options, again, both in Lisbon and Porto. If you go to Porto, which is the most industrial city in Portugal and also World Heritage by UNESCO as well, we wanted to get a little inland and following, as Carlos was saying before, the Ribera del Duero. This is the same river. It crosses the entire peninsula. It's one of the longest river in the Iberian Peninsula, and it goes all the way to the Atlantic Ocean by the city of Porto, which means port, of course, like the famous wine. But if you follow the river inland, and there are actually even some beautiful small cruises that we can also buy out for our clients, you get to an area that you guys all know as the Douro Valley, okay? The valley of the river Duero. Once again, this is not for huge conventions or big events. This is more looking forward to offering an option to a small incentive to that type of corporate client you have that wants a quiet retreat, that wants to enjoy amazing food. And we wanted to offer you this option, which is the Six Senses, but the one in the Douro Valley. It is about an hour and a half from the city of Porto, which as well is very well connected. It has direct flights with almost any European capital. Not that many direct flights as Lisbon with the US, but once again, every capital from Frankfurt, London, Madrid, of course, you can connect directly to Porto as well. And then again, about an hour and a half drive inland to the city of Lamego. Well, the city, the little village. Obviously, you can see the rooms are superb, and many of them will have views to the vineyards, which is probably one of the quietest experiences you can have. It has also a beautiful surrounding area and an amazing spa. As Carlos was saying before, in Abadia Retuerta, and John as well was pointing out on Abene with the food, one of the main reasons people travel is for the food and the wine. In this case, the Six Senses also has Michelin star quality restaurants in the property, and again, an indoor spa with all sorts of treatments, possibilities to do cooking lessons on Portuguese cuisine, and of course, small meetings because it's again a small hotel. Same as with La Rioja, you cannot have a lot of people because the full hotel, if you do a buyout, is 60 rooms total. So it's not thought, again, for those huge conventions, but rather, again, that corporate, beautiful incentive or small meeting. Obviously, as I told you before, you can do river cruises, small boats, privately owned, that we can just rent for our clients. And you could actually even get almost to Salamanca. So the border with Portugal and the province of Salamanca is where you have the final end. And for some people, this is like the Spanish or Portuguese fjords in a way, maybe not so dramatic, but we have all the vineyards surrounding this beautiful river. And of course, again, the city of Porto, which as I told you is also World Heritage by United Nations. You go to Lisbon, which is, again, maybe you're thinking about it as a huge hub for meetings and conferences. We're suggesting, once again, you get inland to one of the most upbeat or more in fashion right now areas in the entire country, which is the Alentejo. It is known for its authenticity, small villages, World Heritage places as well. And it's about a couple hours, a little less than a couple hours inland from Lisbon. We have selected here a very small property. It's called San Lorenzo do Barrocal. It's actually a estate. They have restored completely the estate. Not very big. Once again, this is thought for very private groups. It only has 22 rooms total and suites, but you see that you can do all activities in a very authentic way. The property and the estate, it's also leading. It's within the leading hotels of the world brand, so you can assess about the quality. And it's funny because the owner, whose name is Jose Antonio Uva in Portuguese means grape. So of course, when your last name is Grape, you have no other choice but to dedicate your life entirely to vineyards. As you can see, the property and the rooms are beautiful. The suites are in a very nice mix of authentic Portuguese, rural, and of course, very sophisticated as well furniture. You can do activities like private dinners in the estate, in the kitchen. You can see the one on the left, which is the typical local kitchen they still use themselves in the state, or just go out and have any of the activities for the group right in the vineyards. It's all surrounded by acorn and cork trees. Portugal alone has 80% of the cork in the world. So next time you open a bottle of wine and it has cork, it's for sure coming from anywhere around this beautiful area. And as I told you, it's a very authentic experience because you're going to be going literally off the beaten path to places like Évora, which one of the most interesting Roman heritage in the Iberian Peninsula, which again, it's also World Heritage by UNESCO, or very small local villages like Montserrat, which are literally just a few minutes away from this San Lorenzo property. Last but not least, very close is the Alqueva Lake, which is the largest artificial lake in Europe. It's very close to the properties to San Lorenzo, but it's also one of the top world starlight destinations. It has one of the clearest skies in the world. So now that it's also very popular to do that mindfulness, John was pointing out before, just staring at the sky in this part of the world is one of the things you should do, and you haven't, if you haven't done yet. So we're waiting for you over here in two of the nicest regions in Portugal, Douro Valley, and of course, the Alentejo in Portugal. And then last but not least, once again, we wanted to finish with Barcelona. Of course, we know that Barcelona and Catalonia offers a lot of options for incentives and events, but probably you were just thinking about the city of Barcelona, and even, the Mobile Congress, it's starting in a week. So you're thinking about the largest and biggest conferences in the world. We want to give you just a couple brushstrokes on two places that maybe you were even thinking about, but are just stone throw from the city of Barcelona. And since Sabine, I know she's Basque, but she's lived in Barcelona for over 10 years. Now you're doubling today and you're doing Barcelona as well. So your turn again.
I was thinking, you know what I was thinking? All those opener meals that we are offering to these nice people listening to us, so patient. And when I was living in Palo Alto and we went to a picnic or something like that, you had this big information about the mountain lions, like be careful with the mountain lions. And then I was so scared with the kids. And then I can tell you, there is no information about mountain lions in La Rioja or in Barcelona. Maybe because they don't want to scare you, or maybe because there is no mountain lion. I have to find out and I will let you know. But now seriously, let me tell you two important informations to you, meeting and incentive people, colleagues of us. And I tell you on the Bible, first of all, in Spain, you will find some of the best professional people in this business, I promise. And secondly, in Spain, you will find some of the best resources for meetings in Europe, I promise. I tell you, now I will show you a couple of hotels, but before that, I wanted to show you that. And I don't know the reason, because we are not a especially rich country, but hotels are very well kept and breakfasts are amazing. When you go to anywhere else in Europe or in other continents, you know for sure, you Americans know that you have to pay separately or if you have to eat a la carte. And here you have these amazing buffets with first quality food, which is something that people really appreciate. This place is called let's go to the hotel. This place is called I have to read the name because it's Catalan. Mas Salagros Eco Resort, and it's located only 20 minutes from Barcelona. It has 56 rooms. So yeah, I mean, we could consider a place for a meeting, not huge. this type of places sometimes are allowed to be personal and not personal, occupied only for a group, like privatized. Sorry, I was trying to find the word, privatized for a group, and that makes a very special weekend or a very special meeting. Can you imagine staying here, no matter winter, no matter summer, but only your group here? It was made as the first eco-friendly hotel in the whole peninsula. Probably in other countries, there were other places like this, but in Spain, it was the first one. And I have to say that Catalan people are always the first ones for a lot of things. And this is one of the examples. So have a look to the rooms, to the places. No need to say what it means. First quality and local food, by the way, Basque food. Everything is like very carefully selected. Everything is eco-friendly. The water is what they call like 0 kilometer, like local. Every detail is, I mean, nothing. Of course, you have a lot of activities that has to be as well with yoga, with mindfulness. If you want to do it, you can go to the sea in about 30 minutes. Barcelona is 20 minutes. Vineyards are only, as you can see in the picture, it's about 30 minutes as well. And you have an outlet with more than 240 shops in about 10 minutes. La Roca, it's very, very close, and it's very popular because there are two in Spain. One is in Madrid and one is in Barcelona. Very special place. Very few people know this hotel, and this is an option. So let's go to the next place. So we don't want to do it very, very long. And it's going to be the last place, well, La Sagrada Familia. Last month, it was 1 meter higher, by the way. Mi Sitges Terramar. Many of you, well, all of you know what is Meliá. Meliá is a Spanish chain that decided to do a very trendy, super disco music, super top brand called Mi. So when you read Mi Meliá, means, wow, I am the one, super fashion, trendy. This is the Mi. So in Sitges, you have the Meliá, which is very convenient for a conference because you have 20, I think it's 25 like mini rooms, but then you have this one, which is the Mi Sitges Terramar. It is exactly on the sea. And well, I don't have much to say. If you see the pictures, you have, I think there are like, let me check the rooms because it was open in 2018. And I have to check number of the rooms is 230. Sorry, some information I don't know from memory. You know, I'm already 30, and you know you forget the things. And so pools, the beach, the promenade, gay friendly. Sitges is like that. Well, everywhere is gay friendly. I hate saying that, but Sitges is especially like. Rooms are very, you know, bright, and you have this music in reception because it's Mi Meliá. It's not only Meliá. And this is a hotel that I have to admit that I would suggest in our other type of webinars focused on leisure as well, but also for you, because there are also meeting rooms. Because as you can see here, there is it's not a big meeting room, but you have like very nice areas for the cocktail. Meeting rooms are really nice, and oh my God, having a cocktail or a nice fruit or sweet. Sometimes we need sweets, you know, not only fruits, please. Outside here, close to the sea, is always beautiful. So this is a new hotel in Sitges. You also have another ones like Dolce or Meliá. But Sitges is nice, and you can go to Barcelona and you are really close from the airport. You have to know, you are so close. It's amazing. And it's very convenient. It is a destination itself. Don't think that the destination is Barcelona and then you go to Sitges. No, not at all. There are some groups that know Barcelona very well and just stay in Sitges because it is a destination itself. And this is a beautiful hotel. And it's one of the last ones open because it was opening in 2018 and then it was closed due to the pandemic. And well, have a look, it's beautiful. So I'm done today. Oh, the Castellers, you see? Oh my God. I'm sure you have seen it 1,000 times, but it's still, it's quite impressive. Yeah, quite impressive. All these men going up and on the top, the kid. This is something we organize for the groups because they always like, this is a tradition. We have a webinar called Traditions in Spain, but this one is different, but still we include the pictures. So thank you, JC, for having organized the slides. You can follow our information in Instagram and LinkedIn because we usually have nice information about Spain and Portugal. I hope you have enjoyed our webinar, and you will know the rest of the team any other time because sometimes people need some vacation. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us because we will be delighted to answer.
I'll jump in there, guys. Great presentation. Thank you so much. Some great chatter in the chat. First question is, with all the great information with capacities for both meeting space and hotel rooms, will you be able to provide a summary of that to our attendees, please?
Yes, we can get like a little portfolio of at least what is in the webinar, and we'll send you like a fact sheet with that information. Not
Amazing.
a problem.
That is great.
That'd be great.
Next question. Again, there's many great destinations that you've shared. I know there's many more as well, but with the ones that you've shared, would you pair them together? Is that an option? And if so, could you give examples? So if there was a two-part destination, so would you combine Barcelona and Granada, for example?
No.
Or I would say, for example, focusing on Madrid, because that's our most international airport in Spain. You can do a lot of combinations from here. We have the high-speed train. So, for example, if you arrive to Madrid,
go to the map.
You can stay some days in Madrid and then go down to the south of Spain to Andalusia, where that's what John was presenting for you. There you have Granada, but you have as well Marbella in Malaga, all the south coast of Spain. So that's something very easy to combine. So I would say that, for that case is that you want to combine two or more cities, just focus first on the international airports we have, because that's where you are going to arrive. And then from there, you can move with train or domestic flights. So it's very doable.
Because train, Carlos, you can also explain that it's a high-speed train, right?
Yeah, actually from Madrid to Malaga, you are there in less than 3 hours. And the high-speed trains are very comfortable, so you don't feel that you are on a train, right? I mean, it's like you are just sitting there, and there is a restaurant inside of the train, so it's something very, very comfortable that you don't feel that you are spending 3 times, even though 3 hours to go to the beach is not that much.
And actually, from Madrid, you can pretty much get to almost any of those destinations we discussed, but for the one in Portugal. And sometimes checking in your luggage at the airport, getting there a couple hours ahead of time, going through the security, which is now ×3, all of that, you end up spending 4 hours to get from Madrid to Barcelona. And on the train is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So,
and you go to the city, from the city center to the city center, and from Madrid to Barcelona, how much is it, JC? It's like 2 hours and a half or 3 hours?
There's one that is
right?
2 hours and 30 minutes straight downtown to downtown.
Yes,
it's true that when we're talking about incentives and people who are traveling for incentives or corporate reasons, you need to you need to have them buy the idea that they will need to transfer to locations that are not so close. Everybody thinks Spain or the peninsula is very small. If you compare it with the US, it is, but it's still 20% larger than California, just to give you a comparison, right? So still
It's
there's
not
some
larger.
distances.
Is it larger than California?
Yeah, 20% approx.
Oh my God, my husband always told me it's smaller.
So a follow-up question there. With, say, planning an incentive, what is the ideal number of nights for a 1-center program and then for a 2-center program?
For 2, sorry? I didn't get the last.
If you're choosing 2 locations, how many nights? If you're staying in 1 location, how many nights?
Well, depending, to me, jet lag is important, right? So to me, we can always see the difference between people coming from Europe, Germany, or Belgium, or Netherlands, or even London, which is only 1 hour difference in the only city, as you know, or coming from New York City, or San Francisco. So usually Americans, if they are coming from the East Coast, they stay like 4 nights for 1 location. And if they stay in 2 locations, they stay 1 week. And if they come from San Francisco, which is 9 hours difference, as you know, I could add a couple of nights. I don't know if my colleagues agree with me or.
Yeah. At the beginning or at the end, because obviously it depends on the plan, what they're planning to do, but at least you'll need 3 full days in each location minimum to enjoy them as you should.
Fantastic, thank you. So you, and excuse my pronunciation here, but Alcueva Lake is, have I pronounced that correctly?
Alqueva, yeah, it's fine.
Thank you. Almost. Can you, I know my very English pronunciation, apologies. Can you plan events with the lake, around the lake? If so, what kind?
You can do a lot of water activities as well, but we have to be very careful with numbers because it's a protected area. It's true that it's artificial, and it has a natural reserve protection that goes with both countries. It is actually in between Spain and Portugal. So it's right in the border. So you can do water activities that are very simple, like, rowing or doing some kayaking and all of that, but it's pretty famous for the starlight tourism. So that will be the highlight of that place in particular.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
We have like astronomers, and we bring like gigantic telescopes, and we do like night photography and all of that.
Be careful with the mountain lions. I'm so scared. I tell you.
Bene, I'm going to the Disney store and getting you a Lion King collection.
I'm so scared from Palo Alto. Oh my God.
So another question, obviously very poignant because of our COVID times, but can you provide an update with regards to US travel to Spain as far as requiring tests, accepting American vaccination cards, etc.?
Yeah, I will send you a little email that we already prepared for our clients, and it has like 3 or 4 links with the most up-to-date information we have on our end and on your end from the Department of State, okay? Because sometimes it's not how well you guys are welcome here, which is always very well, okay? But what's the deal on your way back? And it's different from the UK, than from Portugal, than from here in the peninsula. As of June 7th, so that's a week ago, anybody who's have a full, complete vaccination process with approved European agency, like, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer or Janssen, you're allowed to travel without restrictions. We believe from July 1st, the COVID passport, so to speak, will include also antigens, fast testing, and PCRs as approved entry ways. That's for right now. What happens on your way back? It's a state regulation. So each state is enforcing and implementing different rules for people coming from different parts of the world. But I think it's coming as we speak. So as soon as I close my laptop and I check it out, it might be different than that. But for right now, I believe from July 1st, it will be possible to travel just with either PCRs, 72 hours at least, or vaccination from right now, from June 7th, so far.
That is great information. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm conscious of the time, so a big thank you from me, but I'll hand back to Cheryl to close us out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you to the team at Stop too. You've done an amazing job again, and just so inspiring, these amazing properties and destinations that we encourage people to look at, to do the road less traveled and not always go to the big cities. So I think this has given everybody some inspiration. So thank you to the team. It has been recorded, so I'll be sending an email out on Monday with the links to all the webinars. But if not, subscribe to the Anchor Collection YouTube channel, and you'll get an automatic notification when it's up. But thank you very much again, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.